I caught my best friend talking badly about me and sharing my private info with their partner. Now we haven't spoken in 2 weeks. I overheard my best friend ripping into me for things as inconsequential as me not going to the gym enough, to being a bad partner for allowing my BF to eat McDonald's a few times a year, to judging me for the most serious and private things I've shared with them as they blabbed all about it to their partner. We've been friends nearly 20 years and are currently neighbors. Once I revealed I was in earshot, they were embarrassed and backpedaled a lot but didn't really apologize, and seemed to double down that they weren't talking shit. I did not blow up at them, or even raise much of a complaint, which they probably expected me to do. We proceeded to spend a couple hours together doing the things we had planned to do earlier, and I was in shock and kind of just stopped talking about it and allowed them to change the subject. They've also recently been sharing some negative judgments of me to my face that seemed incorrect and coming out of the blue. Since then they haven't reached out to me, and it's been about 2 weeks. I haven't reached out to them either. I've decided it was unforgivably shitty, that my trust is broken, that I have no idea if/how I could possibly keep being their friend. I know I had only heard the tip of the iceberg. They were so comfortable talking about me with a lot of hostility that I imagine it's something they've either always done or have been doing for a long time. Who knows how much my privacy has been breached and which sensitive things they've cast judgment on me for instead of being a compassionate friend like I've always tried to be for them. I have no idea how to broach the subject, and since we usually talk every single day, clearly they know something is wrong since they've chosen not to text me since that day. It's become obvious I'm going to have to be the one to reach out first. Over the past year, whenever I share with them how their passive-aggressive behavior makes me feel, they use it as an opportunity to unload on me negative assumptions about me that I have to correct, and it brings the focus off of them and onto me. I'm not willing to argue with them or defend myself at this point with what's happened. I want to open the conversation with boundaries about how or what we talk about so they don't turn it around on me, but I don't know how or what's reasonable while still giving them a chance to speak. Do I give them a chance to try to work things out, or is this friendship doomed? Should I wait for them to reach out first? Comment. I'm sorry for the loss of your friendship. But you will be better off without someone spewing negative energy into your life. It's sad. I too have long-ass friendships like this. But everything runs its course. It's okay to move on. You've got to for you. Don't let that energy into your life. Are friends that short in supply that you feel the need to broach things with this person, when you are the offended party? Being caught out chatting shit about you, their supposed best friend, should have prompted a grovel session on their part. That it didn't shows that they expect you'll forgive them, as you apparently always have. They've displayed their callous lack of respect for you far too publicly this time. Respect yourself and block their number, and when they reach out upon realizing you're no longer available to be their punching bag, which is a given with this type of person, you repeat their own rant about you and ask why they're seeking out the company of someone they at worst despise, or at best consider beneath them. Ask that, then go back to gray rocking their shit. Life is too short to be calling an obvious enemy your friend. I feel you on the communicating her to open conversations and give room for improvement, but it definitely doesn't apply in such a clear-cut case of bad behavior. You'll be better off with this friendship in the bin. Their attitude issues, recurring and negative, abusive outlook on life is not your burden to bear or manage, and don't let anyone try to convince you of such in a bid to mend fences between you two down the line. 2 decades is a long time. It's a pity your ex-friend couldn't see the value of that. You'll be alright. Next story 2. How do I help my girlfriend with discipline and motivation without being toxic? So some background. My girlfriend and I are coming up on our year anniversary. I love this girl very much and I see going all the way with her, and she sees the same. We are both willing to work and change ourselves for the betterment of us as both individuals and together. We both just moved to college, and are doing long distance. I'm in FL, she's in New York. We are fundamentally different people, but I feel like it complements us well. For example, I am trying for a career in physics with the military and she is trying to become a Broadway actress. There are many differences in the ways we communicate, as I am a more intellectual communicator and she is more emotional, not saying she isn't as smart as me, just a difference in how we explain things, but we both have worked through this and gotten better at it together. I also want to say that generally I am super happy with her and this isn't a dire situation. However, there is one thing I am not sure how to approach, and that is her discipline. She tells me she wants certain things, and to do certain things to achieve those goals, but almost never commits to them. For example, I am what one could call a gym rat, and she just started to enjoy going to the gym and improving her health and physique. Right before we moved, she said she wanted to work on eating better and getting a steady schedule in the gym. I told her, if that is your goal, I want to support you through it all the way. Since moving to college, she has not yet found much time to go to the gym, gone maybe once or twice in several weeks, and is eating unhealthy snacks and meals regularly. I completely understand if she wants to live this way, that is perfectly normal and okay. However, I don't understand that she says she wants to accomplish the goal and then goes completely in the opposite direction. I also understand that being new in college can also affect this. Even though I had a personal break-in period adjusting to my new college schedule, I have found what works for me. She keeps saying she wants to make a schedule and block out time for studying and class and extracurriculars but has yet to do so. I know she has free time because she spends a lot of time doing entertainment activities, which is also completely okay, and I get that she needs to relax just like any other normal person. She has this habit not with just bigger things like health and planning college, but with smaller things like school assignments and getting to bed early too. I want her to accomplish the goals that she wants for herself. I want her to live her dream life. I don't want to be controlling or manipulative, but I feel like my concern is valid. One of my number one fears is to let this want for her turn into toxic controlling behavior. So how do I bring this up to her? Do I say anything at all? Should I be concerned about anything including her or myself? I know before I say anything I should give her more time to adjust in college, but I want to hear others' opinions. Next story 2. Why am I still hurt after falling out with my best friend? It's been a whole year. A little over a year ago, my ex-best friend blocked and deleted me off everything because she found a post I'd made on Reddit months ago venting about her and her relationship drama and how it was affecting me badly. I apologized and took accountability for my post, but she had made her mind up about me being a fake friend and didn't let me talk at all. She only focused on the parts that made her look bad, didn't care to address my issues and how I was feeling. We haven't spoken since. I haven't said a single word about her to friends and mutual friends. I talk about what I went through on Reddit sometimes because it's a safe, neutral environment. My therapist says it's okay that I still feel hurt and occasionally angry because that friendship meant a lot to me and I feel like I was treated very unfairly and essentially tossed out like garbage. She has made me the bad guy in our story. I've always apologized whenever I hurt her. She barely did the same for me. I truly don't feel like she ever cared about my mental well-being. She gave every fiber in her being to her partner, who was/is emotionally and verbally abusive to her, but expected me to support a relationship that was clearly bad for her. I don't know about now. Has anyone else also felt the same way? I'm not trying to shit-talk my ex-friend, this is just an honest recollection of my problems and feelings. My post had zero bad intentions, it was me simply exhausted, confused, and her trying to make sense of my feelings. I still stuck by her side despite getting comments to leave the friendship. There was nothing fake about me. I just wanted to help her, and sometimes that came with the cost of my own sanity. I couldn't talk to anyone because I didn't want to put her business out there and further embarrass her, hence me using Reddit that one time because it's anonymous. I've never said a single bad thing about her to anyone I know. Anytime I did talk about her, it was to simply find other ways to help her without being too obvious. Never said a single negative word about that girl, her partner. Yes, I did say stuff about him on Reddit because he made her miserable, at the time, and I hate him for that. I hate him because he treated a beautiful woman like complete garbage. Why is it so difficult for her to take accountability for the part she played in the end of our friendship? Why couldn't she just fucking apologize for making me feel like me and my feelings were insignificant? Why can she talk shit about her own partner on the regular but absolutely lose her mind when she read my post and block me? How come that guy gets 500 chances but we have 3 fights, all after she met him, and I'm out? We never fought prior to her meeting him, that's not coincidence. Why can't she see what I see? Next story 3. My partner makes me feel inferior to him. How do I approach him with this? Now I really don't know where to start. It's honestly difficult to explain, but I feel like shit having to type it all out. It's most likely super immature, but I can't think straight right now because I'm so upset. Me and my partner, let's call him Min, have been dating for a while now. The relationship was pretty fun and fresh at the beginning. We were best friends prior and romantic feelings slowly started to develop. Min is from a middle-class family, but in my view he's upper, and he's well off in terms of money and doesn't have to worry as his parents provide a lot. I'm living with my mother's ex-husband's grandparents as she left me a couple years ago when she got married. My grandparents are in middle class too, but they are most definitely not as well off as men. Note, neither of us have jobs. Our lifestyles are different from what we own, what we do, eat, etc. My grandparents are British white, so in terms of food, it's quite simple and limited. I don't mind it, but it takes a huge toll on my mental health because it makes me feel so unhappy. I try to cook meals for myself, but we're limited with ingredients and my grandparents are really stingy with money, which I understand. I usually skip out on meals because I know some of the foods they have aren't good for me, and I'm working out a lot, so it feels like a huge step back. There are a lot of times where my partner would joke about my lack of food at home. It started off as silly jokes such as, "Imagine not having ingredients," or "I would rather starve than eat at your place," or "Couldn't be me, I can afford it." And I know it sounds weird and silly, but to me it means a lot. I'm not open with what I eat because I struggled with an ED which I have only recently recovered from. Now the food jokes are getting to me and I feel so embarrassed even having breakfast. There was one time where he sent me a photo of him having tomato, feta, salmon, and egg with sourdough for breakfast, and he captioned it with "Couldn't be UFR." I brushed it off with a joke, but it kind of hurt me. There are also times where men would make fun of me for not being able to go to the gym because I couldn't afford it. When we were in college, he made jokes about how I had to travel so far every day for my classes, whereas he got dropped off by his parents. Last night he joked about my food, saying he's going to make something because he had the ingredients, and laughed at me saying, "Imagine not having ingredients again." I couldn't brush it off this time and I cried myself to sleep. I feel bitter. When I confronted him about it, he just replied with "sorry." There are a lot of things he jokes about that he can do that I can't, and it makes me feel like he thinks of me as inferior to him. This is only about 40%, and I honestly feel like I'm way below men. I don't know how to approach this to him. How do I approach this situation? Comment. I don't feel like there's anything you can do to change someone that sees you as inferior, especially with that attitude. Personally, I would have loved to cook for you if I was in his situation. Of course you should talk to him, but know that there are better people out there that won't shame you. Sorry that you feel inferior. A direct response to a verbal criticism is preferred over a conversation that will likely yield nothing more than an apology, a brief period of changed behavior, followed by a repeat performance.